In this lesson, we connect some of the behavior challenges and emotional reactions to certain sensory difficulties. As you make these connections, you should see that overt reactions to sensory experiences should be treated as learning opportunities to help an individual with autism learn to self-advocate and to develop coping strategies related to their sensory needs. The relationship between sensory problems and emotional regulation challenges is well noted. Certain types of stimulation can cause a fight or flight reaction or response. A fight reaction or response may look like some form of aggression. A flight reaction response may look like some kind of escape or anxiety reaction. These types of responses to the sensory environment are reflexive in nature. In other words, when an individual is experiencing some form of sensory aversion, physical discomfort, and they react emotionally and behaviorally, these behaviors are not learned behaviors, but are more reflexive in nature. It's important that we recognize these sensory differences in individuals with autism and that we use these as opportunities to teach. Some of the things that an individual may need to learn is how to identify the sensory triggers in the environment and communicate or express to others when they are feeling uncomfortable or when they feel anxious about the threat of a sensory experience creating discomfort. Individual needs to learn how to self-advocate to minimize the triggers. They may need to learn to ask for a break or an alternate environment to be in whenever there's a high degree of sensory distraction going on. They may need to learn different strategies for coping with sensory experiences. It's important for those who work with individuals on the autism spectrum not to view these behaviors as something willful that needs to be punished. Punitive consequences during a heightened level of escalation will only result in further escalation. The goal when someone's experiencing a fight or flight reaction should be to help them to regulate and calm down and then identify what the trigger was so that it can be prevented or so that the individual can learn an appropriate coping strategy in the future.